Hey champions, Arian, Tyson here, sitting in my office here in St. Louis, and I am just so overwhelmed. My heart is still full from what I have experienced today, Saturday, March 25th, 2017. This is a day that I will never forget. Why? Because something happened to me that I really did not expect to happen, to be honest with you. But it happened and it impacted me so much. Today, I met and had the privilege and the honor to sit under the teaching of some of the most powerful speakers that I've ever seen. But the one person that stood out is the one mentor up until today that I had never met. And that would be Les Brown. I had the privilege and honor of meeting the great Les Brown today. Words don't do justice, so I decided to shoot a video to talk about how meeting Les Brown today has impacted me. Not only today, but going forward. I am a firm believer that there is power in our story, and nobody can tell our story better than us. Les Brown always tells his story. He is a very, very humble man, a very knowledgeable man. But even at the age of 72, he is still a student. He is still learning while teaching and impacting hundreds of thousands, if not millions, across the globe. One of the things that he said, out of the many things that he said that stood out today, was, first of all, he talked about even at the age of 72, even though he's had more days, he has more days behind him that he has ahead of him, he still listens to an hour of personal development audio every day. He still reads 30 to 40 pages of positive reinforcement, of positive mindset and personal development books. To this day, he still does that. Even in the midst of all the things that he has learned, all of the wisdom that he has imparted on those students that he has taught directly and those that he has impacted globally throughout the years, whether it's through his books, whether it's through his videos, whether it's during seminars that he's given, conferences where he's spoken to over 80,000 people in the Georgia Dome. And if you think I'm lying, you can YouTube Les Brown Speaks at Georgia Dome. He spoke in front of over 80,000 people. So it's something that he's quite knowledgeable of. And because he is one of my three mentors, I was all ears. And to say that it was awesome is an understatement, a gross understatement. This man, what stands out, and I've seen videos, I've read several of his books, but what stands out about this particular meeting is because he talked about what he had to go through to even get to the conference today. Because he was not in the best shape physically, but he made no excuses. He has been battling cancer a form of cancer for quite some time. And because he was committed to being there for his students, most notably a man by the name of Dr. Reuben West, who he has openly referred to as one of his spiritual sons. He soldiered on and came to the conference, even at the dismay of members of his own family who believed that he should not have been traveling. But when you are called to do something, when you are on assignment to do something, it's in you. It's like breathing. And I had the opportunity to see this man for over an hour sit in a chair and speak knowledge, wisdom, and drop nugget after nugget after nugget, dropping quote after quote after quote. He talked about how life for us is a question, and how we choose to live life is the answer. He talked about how someone's opinion of us does not determine our reality. He talked about when there is hope in the future, there is power in the present. He also talked about how we learn more, we are told more about our limitations than we are about our potential. That's why you have to guard your thoughts. That's why you have to be mindful of the things that you put inside of you, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You have to be cognizant of the people that you hang around, because a lot of us have dead weight hanging on us. And we are not at the place that and space that we deserve to be at, or we need to be at, to be operating at maximum capacity. I had the honor of listening to this man tell his story. And then I witnessed him bless someone else. Not just me. There was a young lady who was in the audience from Kenya. And she said that she wanted to always meet Les Brown, like me. We had an opportunity to ask Les Brown a question. Whether or not, we chose to do it, depends on that person. But I asked the question and he answered it. This young lady asked the question. I actually asked two questions. She asked him, and I will never forget this as long as I live. She asked him, "Will you be my mentor? And when you write the foreword to the book that I'm working on?" You know what his response was? "Yes, I will be your mentor. And yes, I will write the foreword to your book." He just met the woman. I had a chance to witness that. And it's one thing to put it on a Facebook post or put it on an Instagram post, but the fact that I was there and I witnessed it, I didn't have to hear about it. I witnessed it for myself. And it is living proof that sometimes we have not because we ask not. And it's really about being in the right place at the right time in the right space where opportunity knocks. Sometimes it busts the door down. And because I was in this space today, because I made a decision, I didn't even know about this conference that I went to until 3 weeks ago. And because I made a decision to go to take a couple hours out of my Saturday and to listen to people who are further along in their speaking career and in their speaking journey than I am, it has forever changed me. One of the reasons that I've always resonated with Les Brown so much is that my birthday and Les Brown's birthday is we're less than a week apart. My birthday is February 11th. His birthday is February 17th. The reason I have been so hungry lately to finally meet him, and even when I least expected it, it happened, is because last year, my father died on February 17th, which happened to have been Les Brown's 71st birthday. He's 72 now. My father died at the age of 64. And he left without seeing his biggest dream unfulfilled, without seeing his biggest dream accomplished. And because I have taken it as personal priority, because I have made it a priority to finish what my father never saw accomplished, it has made me hunger and thirst to see my own dreams become a reality. Les was the one mentor I had not met prior to today. And the fact is, he reaffirmed in me something. Because I've always been told I was a good listener. But he told me something that I heard him say a couple years ago. He said that the best speakers are the best listeners. And here I've been sitting, feeling inadequate, feeling unworthy, feeling like my voice did not matter. But then I thought about a young man who I've never met, left me a Facebook post on my birthday back in 2014, and said that he had 3 mentors. 2 of the people he mentioned was Les Brown and myself. That was the first time I had ever been put in the same sentence as Les Brown. To be mentioned in the same breath is a privilege and an honor. It is humbling. But the fact that I met him today, the fact that he reminded me that when we die, will we be able to look back and say that we gave it everything, that we left an impact, that we left a legacy? The most unfulfilled dreams is found in the graveyard. It's found in the cemetery. And I refuse to be one of those people who have all these dreams, all these goals, and he gave me a reality check that there have been some things that I've been putting off. And it's time for me to stop wasting time. There are some things that you know that you should be doing, but for whatever reason, you haven't done it. And I'm telling you this in closing. If a young man who grew up very quiet, raised on the north side of St. Louis, diagnosed with lead poisoning at an early age, told by doctors that he wouldn't amount to anything, told by doctors that he would end up mentally retarded, in 3 years' time, has shot over 800 videos on YouTube, and has met his 3 mentors: Dr. Eric Thomas, Trent Shelton, and now the incomparable Les Brown. You can't tell me that your dreams can't come true. You cannot tell me that it's not possible. Les Brown taught me that it is possible. You have to say it and believe it, that it's possible. And he reminded me when I went up to him, I'll never forget this. I told him, it's an honor to finally meet you. His response to me was that, well, young man, I'm honored to be standing next to greatness. To have someone that I look up to tell me that I'm great or that I have greatness in me is something that you cannot put a price tag on. Ask yourself, who is speaking life into you? Who is speaking life into you? And if the people around you that are closest to you is not speaking life into you, you got to get around some people that's going to speak life into you. So what? They may look at you like you're crazy. But you have a purpose. You have a passion. And there is something that you have to offer that is going to be a blessing to others. Are you operating in it? So I wanted to share with you how meeting Les Brown today has impacted my life today and going forward. Because many people have felt like I've accomplished a lot, but I really feel like now I'm just scratching the surface. And if you think I've accomplished some things already, you haven't seen nothing yet. I challenge you to share this video with someone you know who needs to realize that your dreams are worth fighting for. In life, you have 2 choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. It's yours truly, Arian Tyson, the moving motivator. Humbly ending this video. I will never forget this day, March 25th, 2017, because it was the day that I met one of the 3 most impactful speakers ever, in my opinion, ever. The great Les Brown. God bless.